What's up, traders? It's your boy Vincent, aka Vin Boss, and we are back with the midday analysis. Now, as you remember, on our top weekly Forex forecast, we did mention that we are now structured to the upside, mainly because of the war that is happening and how the dollar might be the safe haven. So let's get straight into what happened last week during the week and what to expect for from now on until the rest of the week, or to until next week, or the continuation might last up until next week. So without wasting much time, remember traders, this is the DXY. I'm gonna try to keep this video as short as possible. Now with that being said, here we did want to see buying opportunities and we got them to the upside. Of course, we did make a nice 1:20 risk to reward ratio win. And after that, what do I expect to see from this? Now, as we see this technically, this looks like a one strong wave. So what I would like to see is, what I would like to see is maybe a pullback, to these levels, look for buying opportunities and go to the upside to continue this high to the upside. Remember, this only is depicted on the 4-hour time frame, but if we do check the daily time frame, you can see that on the daily time frame we are targeting the higher levels here. We finna break this high structure around here at the structure is at 100.37. This is the exact place that we are targeting with the DXY. So going back to the 4-hour time frame, this is the first place to look for buying opportunities. If we do get a deeper correction, which is unlikely in times of war, which is very unlikely, you might see us come down and retest this, or even retest the monthly liquidity, which is here at 97.25, and then a continuation to the upside to reach that specified level of 100 point something. Now, with that being said, beautiful traders, this is the overall direction on the dollar, the DXY, right? Let's go over to see what the euro and the dollar did and what it has in store for us going deeper into the week and the coming week. So with the euro and the dollar, what I was expecting similar to the DXY, it was the buy to the upside on the dollar, but here we did have a selling opportunity as we are now buying the dollar against the majority of the currency pair. It is a strong safe haven in terms of fundamental catalysts. So with that being said, beautiful traders, what do I expect from now? Before I get to what is going to happen, let's firstly remember that this was the analysis from our top weekly Forex forecast. This was the sell that was expected, and this is the result of the euro and the dollar. So with that being said, fantastic and beautiful traders, what do I expect to see more from the market? Now, we did also 1:20 here. The target was 1:20, and we did this. Usually the markets do not move this much in 2 days, but it did because of the fundamental catalyst of this war that is happening. Now, what do I expect to see from this? Very simply put, I think this has now begun a correction to the upside. What we have to see is, or what we might see is, a retest of this area right here. Look for bearish patterns and formation, a breakout, a retest, and a continuation to the downside. Now, this might happen today, tomorrow, or even next week, because we are now in a pullback. The only time that I will be looking for buying opportunities is if we do break above this horizontal line that is right here at 1.1926. This is the only time I will be looking for buying opportunities in the euro and the dollar. Except, this is the only exception. Let me put it that way. This is the only exception. Until then, nothing else can and will change my mind. Rather, we might come deeper, have a deeper pullback to retest the levels here. You see this yellow line here, it is the 14-day liquidity for us, and a continuation to the downside is still imminent. This is the first place, this is the second place, and the third place is the monthly liquidity, which seems very unlikely. Why? Because of the structure that we already have in these 2 days. This is the monthly liquidity that is sitting right here on 1 point, that is sitting right here at 1.1835. Now, this is the great place to look for selling opportunities if all these levels are not holding. So with that being said, traders, we are still structured to the downside. What I would like to see here is a continuation to the downside. We already done our 1:20 with this signal with our real account traders community, and I would like to remind you that this is very simple for you to join. If you want to be part of the real account traders community, all you have to do is register your account with our exclusive Exness link, verify your trading account details, fund the minimum of $100 or more, and then send proof of registration to me in Telegram, the free Telegram channel. That is, the link is t.me Vinboss free signals, t.me/Vinboss free signals. That's where you will get to see these free videos that we are posting in here, but the exclusive membership you only get when you have registered a new trading account with us and verified your details and funded your trading account so that you can continue trading easily with us. So with that being said, beautiful traders, let's go back to the chart. Still have to remind you that we are looking for a selling opportunities from these levels to continue to the downside. This is the euro and the dollar. So that is it from me with the euro and the dollar. Let's go straight to the pound and the dollar. And with the pound and the dollar, the very simple thing that we were expecting was to see a continuation to the downside. We are still in the pound and the dollar, but it was not as strong enough to take out profit right here as much as the DXY did, as much as the dollar and the euro did. But instead, we are now looking for a potential pullback. What we can expect is maybe a break even or a retest of this. Look for bearish patterns and formations, a continuation to the downside. We are still bearish on this currency pair, which is the pound and the dollar. We are still bearish. Nothing has changed. It is just what causes euro dollar to take profit and pound dollar to not take profit, to come close but not enough to take profit, is the difference in strength. Pound dollar is relatively stronger than the euro and the dollar to the upside, meaning that if the pound is stronger than the euro, we are buying. If this was paired like this, the euro and the pound and the dollar, we are going to buy the pound and sell the euro. This simply means that their strength can be determined in such a manner, since we both paired them against the dollar and we see that the other one is struggling to reach take profit and the other one has already surpassed the level of profit. So back to what we were saying before, this is the signal on the pound with the top weekly forex forecast, and this is the current state that we are now in. Still going to the upside. Maybe we will get a break even and look for selling opportunities, of course, but anything else that comes from this is also a the monthly liquidity right here. We might be looking for selling opportunities, and with selling opportunities, continuation still. So this is the first place to look for selling opportunities right here, and this is the second place for looking for selling opportunities right here. Either way, we are bearish. The only time that we will start being bearish on this currency pair is if we do break this level of 1.3734. This is the only place, 1.3734, this is the only place that if we do break, we will look for a pullback and then look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside, which is very unlikely with the scenario or that we are having here of, as you can see here, from here we've been having lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. This has been the scenario, and I believe we might come here to retest or even break even, then look for selling opportunities again to continue the pattern of making lower highs and lower lows to the downside with the pound and the dollar. So with that being said, beautiful traders, this is just what I see on the pound and the dollar. Let's go over to the next currency pair to see what it has in store for us. The next currency pair that we're having is the one that I did mention that both are safe havens during our top Forex weekly Forex forecast. Now, with that being said, traders, after this buy, we were expecting to hit this. We still in a trade. What do I expect from now? Firstly, before I tell you what do I expect, this is now confirmed that we are in a strong bias to the upside. Last week we did mention that we are in a strong uh, bias to the upside without reaching or making a new high. This is a lower high, this is a new high. Now we are now structured to the upside. And before everything, let's go to this. This is how the market looked on our top Forex forecast. This is the signal that I wanted to do or that I wanted to see and receive. But after that, back to the charts, what did we do? We did have an entry right here, still not hitting our target, all right. And I do expect to see this come down and retest this 14-day liquidity zone here and look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside. Also, similar to other currency pairs that we've discussed in this video, what I would like to see is if this place fails to hold price or to make change of structure, what we would like to see is this come here and look for buying opportunities, both levels of liquidity and monthly liquidity at 156. This is 155.08. This level is for buying opportunities. If this level around here fails, then potentially I'll be looking to buy from here, look for buying opportunities, and it might be a strong move to the upside. Now let's go back to what might happen. Potentially this is a high probability setup to the upside, and this is like 70% of the chances, and this is like the other 20% of the chances. The other 10% that is left is if we do break below here, which seems very unlikely, traders. So that is it with the US dollar and the Japanese yen. Let's go to the last but not least currency pair, which is the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. And traders, the last but not least is the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. But before everything, I want us to see what the market was doing before we entered there. Now, the market was already like this, and I was expecting a strong momentum. This is the top weekly Forex forecast. If you did not watch the weekly Forex forecast, go back to the video, watch the video again, and see how price reacted from the moment I mentioned the buy in the dollar up until now. So let's go to the charts. Now, again, traders, we did buy here, came down. If you were paying close attention to what I said on the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, especially with the safe haven uh, play in hand, we have, I did mention on the top weekly Forex forecast that one thing is for sure, as soon as oil goes up, then Canadian dollar will go up, as most of its currency is dependent on crude oil. Sorry. And with that being said, this is the effect. We did have a strong bias to the upside and a weak momentum to the, and another strong bias to the downside. We just had a break even now as we were still doing this video with you guys. Right? Now, what do I expect? Does this change the whole momentum of a sell now being a bias like this because of this momentum? No, we are still structured to the upside. What I want to see is a retest of this liquidity here and another retest of this buying liquidity here. Continuation to the upside. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not changing my mind. I'm only following what the fundamentals say and the technicals are saying. I'm not looking for any selling opportunities. I'm only looking for buying opportunities. Now, with that being said, if you are looking for selling opportunities in this market, this might happen. And then you find that the market has gone up. But if this happens, this is when I will start looking for selling opportunities, because then I'll look for a pullback and then a continuation to the downside. I will not be looking for any selling opportunities in this market. I will only be looking for buying opportunities based on my liquidities. Now let's get into this. This should be where my 14-day liquidity is. The analysis was not saved, correct? Either way, this is still where I would like to see the continuation start from. So you see the 14-day liquidity is stacked close to the new high liquidity and the monthly liquidity, which makes this level a very interesting area for us to look for buying opportunities and continue to the upside. And since everything else like that we have discussed is now in a pullback mode before continuing to the upside or the downside, this most likely is still in a pullback mode before continuing to the upside or the downside. Now that is it from me, Vin Boss Traders, and thanks for watching this video up until this far. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and join the Telegram channel. The link to the Telegram channel will be left under the video description for you to click and join the Telegram channel and see these videos and pictures as many times as you like. Bye bye.